Next, we will go to third down. Now, there was a lot of, because I know ESPN put out something with LeBron James and the decision, the 10-year anniversary of LeBron's decision where he chose to go to Miami from Cleveland. A lot of people didn't like that. I was a big fan of it because I liked the Heat at the time. I was a huge Dwayne Wade fan. But the big news that came out of this was that reportedly the New York Knicks were LeBron's number one choice back in 2010 before the infamous decision that was live aired, that was live on TV. Probably not LeBron's greatest moments, but one of his greatest moments, but it was interesting to hear this. So Bill Simmons on the Bill Simmons podcast pretty much quoted this. So he said, "From everybody that I've talked to, that I've known since then, it's clear that the Knicks were the first choice. And I'm sorry, Knicks fans, earmuffs, but it's basically the Knicks to lose, and they just couldn't stay out of their own way. And the stories are legendary." So let me actually get into a little bit of this. So he it's funny when I was actually reading this. I'm going to read this to you guys. So Bill Simmons also stated that they had a legendary meeting. Donnie Walsh was in a wheelchair, and Dolan was Dolan. And it was a complete shit show, basically. They didn't have anything prepared, and it just couldn't have gone worse by all accounts. It was a disaster. And so Dan Feldman from NBC Sports stated that the Knicks made a dubious presentation, and it looks worse. As we've learned more, Dolan reportedly handed out copies of his CD during free agent meetings that summer. So if it wasn't bad enough, James Dolan was handing out his CDs during these meetings. And hopefully he didn't hand it out to LeBron, because, LeBron ain't trying to hear any of that stuff that James Dolan is playing. But it gets worse, people. So LeBron was a huge Sopranos fan, reportedly. So Ryan Gatos from Fox News, he stated that the disastrous meeting reportedly included hiring the Sopranos actors for the meeting. James declined to give the Knicks a second meeting and eventually agreed to sign with the Heat, joining Dwayne Wade and Chris Bosh, and eventually winning 2 championships. So if it wasn't bad enough, the Knicks and James Dolan thought it would be a good idea to hire actors from The Sopranos to go full on mafia to hire, LeBron, or to get LeBron James to sign with the Knicks. I mean, it couldn't have been more, based on these stories, and I'm sure there's more that has not gotten out or that has been reported that I'm not talking about here, but handing out CDs, hiring actors, like this is not a circus, right? You're supposed to be courting the best player in the NBA at the time and trying to get him to come to the Mecca of basketball. That's Madison Square Garden. That's New York City. That's the New York Knicks. And James Dolan, who is probably the worst, he is the worst owner in basketball, completely screwed it up, especially when athletes want to go to New York. And you've seen that this past year with Kyrie and Kevin Durant. Athletes want to go to New York, but they're willing to go elsewhere just so they do not have to go and play under James Dolan, who should be selling the team, honestly. I think Knicks fans, and I'm sure Knicks fans, want him gone. They want him to sell the team. There's been fans that have been banned indefinitely for yelling at James Dolan to sell the team as he's walking out of his own arena. James Dolan has had Spike Lee escorted, he tried to get Spike Lee escorted by security out of the stadium so he could walk around to the general entrance. I mean, this is the owner, James Dolan, people. And the Knicks fans will tell you more. I'm not a Knicks fan. I just laugh at what the Knicks do and what James Dolan does. Dude is hilarious. He should be a comedian, and I think he is a comedian because every time I hear him in the headlines, I'm laughing. But yeah, Sopranos, handing out CDs, terrible meeting for LeBron, and I'm sure LeBron does not regret his decision in going to Miami. I think he regrets, how he played definitely in that first finals series versus the Dallas Mavericks, but LeBron James at least got his 2 rings while he was there with D Wade and Bosh. It didn't start well, it didn't end well, but the 2 years in between were great. And, that was probably one of my favorite times of watching basketball with the Miami Heat, the Heatles. Not 1, not 2, not 3, not 4, not 5, not 6, not 7. Great time to watch basketball. So I just wanted to bring that up for Third Down because I thought it was a hilarious story. Let me know what you guys think in the section below. If you've heard anything else on what else happened during these meetings, feel free to leave it in the comment section below because I would love to see that and laugh as well.
Thanks for stopping by. Make sure you guys hit that subscribe button for more fire sports takes. And for those of you on the go, make sure you subscribe to our full show, which airs every Thursday on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, and a bunch more. Until then, I'm chucking it up, and I'll see you guys next time.